Thanks for joining us from the 2018 NBA All-Star Game. I'm Maria Serrao, joined by Will Lupardus. Will, we are here at the Staples Center for one of the biggest NBA events of the season.
And wow, it's a little chaotic, but the energy and excitement's in the air here.
There is so much media here. It's amazing, from all over the world, how many people come here because they love the NBA.
I know. It's the Super Bowl of basketball.
It
right?
really is. It really is.
It's pretty cool.
And so many cool players that we got to talk with earlier. I mean, this has just been such a magnificent event and so much to get to in today's show. But we need to start right here at the Staples Center because we've had some huge news since our last show.
A lot's happened.
We have got to talk about it. Let's start with Blake Griffin, Will. I mean, he is no longer a Clipper.
All right. Well, he got that big contract a couple of years ago. He's one of the highest paid players in the NBA. And the Clips decided him to cut that tie. He's a Detroit Piston now.
Yep.
You got a guy named Tobias Harris.
That's
He's
right.
in the three-point shootout tonight.
Yes, that's going to be exciting to see him.
And also Avery Bradley. He was on that great Boston Celtics team, sort of great Boston Celtics team last year. So I think the Clippers are really happy with what they got in return for Blake.
You know, it was a little jolting because, let's face it, we all thought it was DeAndre Jordan that was actually going to be probably booted out because of the contract as well, but it was Blake that left. And, you know, since he's gone, I have to tell you something. The Clippers are winning. Do they not know they're not supposed to be good without him?
You know, sometimes a group of guys can just gel, and with Lou Williams, I mean,
who's been amazing.
We have yet to see. They're hanging around 9th place. The West in the NBA, about 5 through 9.
Yeah.
Anybody could make it or not make it.
It's anybody's game, yes.
So, I mean, you lose a couple games, you could be in 9th place coming down from 5th. So the Clippers have the opportunity to jump that much as well. And with this team, you know, it's a whole different team.
It really is. It's funny about Lou Williams. Somebody earlier asked him if he could play for any team, what team would it be? And he said, well, I'm pretty happy with the Clippers right now.
He seems like that kind of guy. He's
he is.
He's not like an acicle, but he's comfortable where he's at. You can tell he's a baller. He's a hooper, as they say.
Yes,
so,
I was actually surprised when the Lakers let him go and he ended up in Houston and now he's back in LA with the Clippers. So you never know what's going to happen in this crazy game, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Clips are back to it's kind of a dice roll, but I think they're exciting. It's kind of fun having that with both Lakers and Clippers. We don't know what's going to happen in the offseason.
I'm telling you, the rosters, I can learn a 53-man football roster a little bit easier than I can any of these NBA rosters because every time we come into the building, I'm like, who's that? Who's this?
It seems like the Clippers have had 53 men since like last year.
I think you're right, actually, Will. That's probably close.
My math
All right.
isn't good.
So we did get a chance to catch up with Doc Rivers right after the trade, so let's hear what he had to say.
But once Blake got here, and then, you know, CP followed, DJ and all those guys, that's when this team really was a franchise that, you know, we talked about. You talked about from afar. You know, I was in Boston, and you watched the Clippers play. And, you know, Blake's responsible for all that. You know, and we had a nice run, you know, but we didn't get it done. And, you know, it's funny how that'll always be viewed, whether that was a great run, a good run, you know. You win 57 games every year. You know, you have multiple All-Stars. You know, you're an exciting team to watch. But our goal was to win a title as a group, and you know, that's the down part of this is, you know, we were fun, we were exciting, but we didn't get it done. And it's not Blake or CP. It's Blake, CP, DJ, myself, JJ. It's all of us didn't get it done. But that's why you're in sports too, Jim. Like you keep trying. You know, there's, you know, the one thing I just want to keep saying, this team has not changed its goals about the playoffs. That's our goal, is to do that. You know, what I told the guys today, we don't have a lot of time to get this stuff together. You know, a lot of times when you make trades, you may have a week or two to try to, you know, we don't. You lose 2 weeks in this season where we're at, you're out. And so we have to try our darndest to try to, you know, see what we can do tonight without a lot of guys, and then, you know, hopefully Saturday we have guys on the floor, and we hope that they can fit in that quick. But that's where we're at, you know. So we'll see.
Well, there was Doc, and we will keep you up to date on how the Clippers do the rest of the season.
That's it.
Now, the other inhabitants of the building, the LA Lakers,
That's right.
They made some big moves too.
They did. They're the ones with all those banners hanging somewhere in here.
Yeah, Jordan Clarkson.
He's no longer.
Larry Nance Jr.
Right.
They are now with the Cleveland Cavaliers, really helping that team already.
Huge amount. It was a great trade.
But in return, at the Staples Center, you'll be seeing Isaiah Thomas.
That's right.
and Channing Frye also.
That's it. That's right. And, it's interesting because, it's a business, but the biggest rumor and the biggest conversations in the Lakers fan base, locker room, anywhere is, when's LeBron coming?
LeBron. Oh, yeah, LeBron James.
Did you know that LeBron is actually in the Staples Center right now?
Yeah,
Maybe this is about as far as he's going to get, I think. But.
I know. You can be optimistic. I'm a big fan of optimism, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Magic made the Cavaliers better by making that trade.
He did.
Thus, maybe making LeBron stay in Cleveland,
It's a possibility, especially it depends how they finish, I mean...
It will, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting, but I'm sure today at Media Day, somebody asked LeBron, and you did say something about Paul George. Somebody asked Paul George, right? So we have to share that.
At media availability, a bunch of fans were shouting, "We want Paul, to which Russell Westbrook said, "No, that's out.
It ain't happening.
That's out."
They're keeping him in Oklahoma.
So it does seem like Russell kind of knows something that nobody else does. I think I have a pretty good idea. Paul's going to stay in Oklahoma City, and Paul alluded to that as well.
You know what? I honestly don't know why you wouldn't, especially depending on how they finish this year. I mean, they're playing great right now.
Well, I can understand a Laker fan wanting LeBron and Paul George and Michael Jordan to come back.
And everybody else. They want everybody.
You want the best team possible. That's understandable, but Oklahoma, if you watch them play, they've got a pretty nice squad going.
That's right.
They're sitting at 5th place. It's tough to imagine a Paul George or LeBron coming to a 13th place Laker team.
I mean, nothing would shock me, but it would be kind of shocking.
LA's beautiful. It's February. It's about 70 degrees outside.
We love that about LA.
Yeah.
Now, one of the rising stars at the Lakers is Kyle Kuzma. He was actually in the Rising Stars game last night here at Staples Center. He has really been just one of the bright lights. He's fun to watch. He's playing great basketball.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy. I mean, what Magic did with that trade, I think, is
great.
You cleared some cap space, which can be for anybody that chooses to come here, or the Lakers choose. And you left this nice nucleus of talent, which Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram are the nucleus.
They're the future, right?
So you kind of made that nucleus a little more centered.
Better, right?
Yeah, but anyway, I think Kuzma's going to be a big star.
Kuzma is a lot of fun, and let's catch up with him after a Laker game.
It's always been like that, even when we were on a 9-game losing streak. It's always been the process for us. We didn't come in this year thinking we're going to, contend for an NBA championship, but we go out there every single night and we want to win games. We're all competitors, and that's our focus: getting better, trying to win games. So, it's really unfortunate. For me especially, I was real close with Larry and JC. Those two guys I kind of clicked with right away, and we all miss them for sure. But at the end of the day, it's a business. Come from college, it's all brothers, and team, and then this is different. But that didn't really distract us because we knew we had a big game and we want to protect home court because it's our last game for the rest of the month at home. So. Of course, it's going to take a minute. We played 50-something games, or I don't know what we played with this team, and you're going to add two different elements. But we need those type of guys. We need a playmaker like Isaiah, and then stretch 5, Channing come in and hit some big shots like he has in his career. So.
Before the game, Luke mentioned.
There are so many NBA players here current, and of course there's legends here. I mean, we have seen so many guys walking around. You look around and go, oh my God, wait, there is Brooke Lopez, and there is somebody else. And
Brooke Lopez,
right?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, he's just walking around because he's having fun. And of course, one of the dunk champions of all time we saw earlier.
Nate Robinson was
Two-time.
here. He is very tiny.
He is, but he was amazing. He was one of my probably all-time favorite slam dunkers, really.
Yeah, he and Carlos Boozer were going around for Big Sports Illustrated asking pretty funny questions.
Some really fun stuff, I know.
One of my favorites was Nate goes up to James Harden and he says, you know that move when you travel? You be traveling when you do that move? I think he is traveling when
Did he answer, actually? I'm curious.
I mean, the beard just kind of cracked a smile.
That's all you're going to get.
It looks like he's traveling.
Well, so much fun here in LA to have all the All-Stars here, and we did have a chance to catch up with a lot of them today, and of course we want to share it with you. So this is All-Star Media Day right here in LA.
I had an opportunity to be able to see it for the first time today. Just looking up and seeing that is honestly surreal for me because never thought I'd be able to see myself on the side of a building, let alone just be here in the NBA, be an All-Star Weekend. So all of it is an unbelievable blessing. Definitely never ever take it for granted.
Has anybody given you a hard time about it? When your face is literally
I heard it.
everywhere.
I heard it. Yeah, I heard it everywhere. Everybody's telling me, you're all on every building. And I just laugh and say, man, it's a blessing, man. It's something that you can never imagine.
Yeah, I want it. I mean, everyone in the field really wants it, but I want it bad. I mean, it's a fun event. Pride myself being one of the best shooters in the league, so this will solidify that, and it's just a fun atmosphere while doing it, especially when you get hot and you make a few in a row, the crowd gets into it. That's incredible, especially, being able to play with Paul George and DeMar DeRozan growing up in the same class is pretty cool. We got to play at the Olympics together now, All-Star team. It's surreal how much talent that class had, and just a testament to the talent pool of the state.
If not the only guy with championship experience. So just kind of figuring stuff out about them, but then not holding back certain things. Like, you can't really worry about hurting someone's feelings. Just kind of go for it.
I think it's a reflection of us being able to own our own voice with social media and opportunities like this where people have, whether they want to agree with what we say or not, or even care to listen, we have the opportunity to speak on what we believe and take a stance and be consistent around that, as well as use resources that we have to put effort and action behind those messages and those causes. And for us, I know if I want to say something and tweet it, nobody can mix up my words. They can come straight to me. I can tweet. I can put it on Instagram. I can say whatever, and you'll know exactly how I feel about a certain issue. Made bold steps to open the door for guys like me, guys like the majority of NBA players in the league, to just even have the opportunity to play this game at the level that we do, and use it as a way to impact our communities as we go forward. That means a lot. So to celebrate that journey, to celebrate Black excellence and Black history, I think that's an amazing. We have an amazing opportunity to continue to push that message and use our platforms for good.
My man, LG Kicks in the building.
We in the building. We in the
Yes,
building.
sir.
We in the building.
Tonight I got something special. I always rock the Kobe, so that's always on my feet. But I've been working out something today that was
They comfortable? What's up?
They're comfortable, of course.
Okay.
So, I always rock the Kobe's. That's one of the most comfortable Nike shoes that I like to rock. So tonight I'm gonna pull those out.
And for tragedy, and I hope that we don't continue, because I actually did finish high school, and for me to sit up here in the greatest weekend of the NBA All-Star Weekend.
I don't know what that is.
It's always been fun for me. I've always just relished in the moment. I learned a lot from AI, being with him in Philly, how he's a competitor, how he always attack games and just was prepared for any challenge. That's one of the things that he brought to my career. That's something that I've been able to do as well.
What you guys doing here? What's going on?
Greatness right here.
What's up with it?
Hey, Lil Will, man, first of all, why you so icy on him today? Why you so icy? I love it.
I just want to brighten everybody's day.
That's right. Talk to him. So for me, man, we had many battles in the league.
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? I love, coming in the league with you and just being rookies together and watching your career from being a six-man guy to should be a starter in the All-Star if you ask me, because I'm an energy guy, six-man type of guy, so I love what you've been doing. So what has been, I would say, your biggest motivation into what your game has become?
I just tried to evolve over the years, man. Over the course of the years, and moves, the game changes, man. Now you got bigs playing. You got 4 and 5s that 6'6", 6'7". Guys stretching the floor. These guards are getting quicker. They're getting stronger. So over the years, I've just tried to evolve my game. Every year, I tried to add something, no matter what it was. And I think that's been one of the biggest things for me.
Been a fan since you came in the league.
Appreciate that. Y'all gotta get me on the podcast.
I gotta restart.
Listen, you're coming on. This is the Hold That podcast. We want to let the people know when you get buckets.
What you say?
What you saying?
Hold that.
Hold that. Hold that. Good luck, baby. Good luck. Congratulations.
it. That's the chaos of NBA All-Star Media Day.
And you know what, Will? You did such a fantastic job. Thank God he's 6'3", because you need a lot of height in there.
It helps getting that
you need a
camo
lot of height.
over all the heads.
Yes, for sure.
Moving on to baseball, it's right around the corner.
Can you believe pitchers and catchers are now in spring training as right now?
And you said you got to go to Fan Fest recently.
I did go to Dodger Fan Fest, and it was, it was so weird. I felt like we just saw all those guys because we kind of just did. I mean, going all the way to Game 7 in the World Series, I can tell you, they all have something to prove.
Right.
Okay, they were excited to get back to it, back to the work of baseball. But Dodgers looking a little different and kind of familiar, as our buddy Matt Kemp right now is back with the team. Now, we don't know if he's going to stay. We don't know how that's going to happen. It was a big trade that went on with Adrian Gonzalez and a few other players, but Matt's back in the fold, so it's going to be interesting.
Do you think that horrible Game 7 loss for us, did you see that on the young guys' faces at all?
You know what I saw was just a lot of enthusiasm to get back at it. So they really want to get back at it. And I'll tell you, one of two things sort of happens. You're either invigorated and you're so driven to get back there again and win it, or you sort of have the fatigue factor. So I think it's going to be one of the two with the Dodgers, but I know that Clayton Kershaw and many of the other players are just ready to go back to work.
I think there's probably no better cure for the World Series blues than just starting all over again and getting on the season.
You know, they've come so close so many times that now actually to get there, but lose it, I think that they're driven to get back there for sure.
Well, to have a pretty similar roster to last season.
Very similar.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think this core can do it again?
I think they can. You know, some of the players, some of the bullpen, and one of the starters, Yu Darvish, went to Chicago, and they've got to add a few more pieces, but I think they can do it. I mean, I really think it's what happens in your heart sometimes that leads you around a little bit, I think.
Well, we're all rooting for them.
We certainly are. Okay, so let's go to Fan Fest and see what all the players had to say.
Did you miss this place? What'd you do in the off season?
I've been here every day.
Yeah?
So no, don't miss it. Yeah, there's a group of us that have been training up here about every day. So Brandon McDaniel, our strength coach, is in, and we have PD, one of our minor league coach, comes in every day, throws batting practice to us. So it's been a short but really good and productive off season for a lot of guys that are here.
What is it like for the fans to show you this much support?
Oh, it's great. The fans in LA are amazing. I think I saw firsthand what they can do and the power of the Dodger fans last year, voting me into the All-Star game. So this doesn't surprise me one bit, seeing it packed out like this, and I know they're fired up to see us win one more game next year.
Talking about being here every day, it seems like the determination factor is very high for you guys. Talk about that after last season.
Yeah, every year, it feels like we've gotten a little bit closer to our ultimate goal of winning World Series. So, we talk a lot about having a bad taste in our mouth, and obviously last year was probably the worst one of the 4 years that I've been here. So, guys are anxious and hungry to get back out on the field and give it another run. Well, the weddings all had happy endings, so.
What, did you see Kershaw dance at the wedding?
I did see Kershaw dance.
How was it?
It's phenomenal.
So how's the off-season been? Very short, huh?
Very short. Short in time in general, plus when you go to 7 weddings, that certainly cuts time down as well,
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun, but it has definitely made time go by quick, that's for sure.
What was it like to see all the guys at the wedding?
It was fun, it's kind of fun to see our soft sides come out. I think I was the only one that didn't say vows at the altar, so I feel kind of bad about that now. But to see like Alex and Jock and those guys Barnes say their vows at the altar is pretty cool. And then to see all that work come together that our wives did is neat and kind of cool to go to. But like I said, 7 weddings, 5 of them were Dodger weddings, and they're all totally different. So it's neat to see the different venues and just kind of see how the weddings can come together differently.
Kershaw said he danced at the wedding. Were you able
He
to
did.
see?
Oh yeah, I think
Did you
everyone
catch a
saw
glimpse?
that. Yeah, that's pretty special. If you ever get a chance, I hope everyone gets to see that. But yeah, it's fun. When you have such a long season and you come up 1 game short, everyone gets to blow off some steam, Kershaw included. So we had our fun.
What kind of motivation do you guys have coming within 1 game like that to get back there this year?
Right. A ton of motivation. One thing that's great is we've kept kind of the core team intact, and it's the 3rd year that I've been here, and we're trending in the right direction. And you know, like you said, we see each other every weekend, so it kind of keeps coming up, and everyone, you know, the story I like to keep telling is to kind of show how motivated we are. The morning of Jock's wedding, Jock included, we went to like a team workout at a Gold's Gym in Santa Barbara. You know, Kershaw, JT, Kike, myself, Alex Wood, everyone was there. And, you know, I'm not sure if other teams would do that. I think that kind of shows you that we're motivated and we're hungry, and there's kind of like a sense of unfinished business that we're, you know, ready to get back on the field and get after it.
How's the off season been? What have you been doing besides going to weddings?
Off season been great. I enjoy it, to be honest with you. I went to a wedding, JT's wedding. Also take my wife to trips, my kids trips. So I had a great time. I mean, I needed that time to kind of get away from baseball and stop thinking about, you know, the Game 7. I mean, it was a little disappointing, but well deserved by Houston Astros. They deserved that. That could have gone to any side, and you know, they deserve it. So well deserved.
Like, do you have a sense of like what the workload, how it might be different this year compared to others?
I'm aware of it, to be honest with you. And last year, I didn't pitch a lot of innings last year in spring training. And sometimes, you know, I think spring training is more for starters. Starters need to build up and be ready. And if you see in 2015 when I got hurt, I didn't pitch in spring training at all. I had like 5 innings pitching at Rancho, and I was ready. So to me, it's just, that's why I love this organization. They're so good at it. Doc, Honey, the front office, they understand the workload that I have, and the good thing is they understand that, you know, they want to take care of my future. So that's the one thing that I love being here, and for them to take care of me. And I'm gonna be ready no matter what. I know what I need to do. I know what I need to put in to get ready, get my arm ready, and there's gonna be plenty of time for me to get ready.
Well, married man.
Yes.
How was the wedding? Tell us all about that first.
It was a blast. It was a great time. Yeah. Best day of my life.
So many of your teammates came with you.
Yeah, and I think that's super special that the teammates came out all the way from their short off seasons, wherever they're living, and supported me and Kelsey, and it was an awesome time.
Do you guys feel like from what you went through last year, it kind of bonded you closer together?
Absolutely. I mean, hands down. I've only been here for, I think it's going to be my 4th year, and I played a couple years in the minor leagues in high school and all that, but this was the closest together team that this past year that I've ever been a part of, and it made it that more fun and special, and I think that's what some of the success we had came from.
Do you guys feel like you sort of got over the bad feeling and now you're ready to get back at it? Or?
I think that feeling probably won't go away. It's kind of like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just not a comfortable feeling knowing that you were that close and you came up short. So it sucks, but it just leaves you hungry for next year to find a way to make it happen.
All right, well, now on the other side of the fence, of course, our Red Hot Angels and Ohtani Mania has now begun. At Tempe, Arizona, the amount of media to see Ohtani was, I don't think I've ever seen it except maybe right here at the NBA All-Star Game, but honestly, it was unbelievable.
This is a big deal. So it's 75 credentialed media for Angel games now?
They think that it's going to average between 75 and 80. That's just for Ohtani. That's not the rest of us that are going to be there as well.
Wow.
So that is crazy.
So he's got a lot of hype overseas back in Japan.
Japan, huge hype in Japan, and you know they're all going to come here and see what Anaheim's like now.
I'm excited to see him. I mean, we've talked about the nucleus with him and Trout and what that young team can do. LA and Orange County have some hot teams now.
I mean, really hot teams, you know. And then last year, Albert, of course, hit his 600th home run. He's in the 600 club. This year, he's closing in on 3,000 hits. So we get to see sort of back-to-back years of Albert making history in Anaheim. I mean, that is so, I got chills just thinking about that.
Well, although football season is now over.
Is it really over, Will?
Well, yeah, and I enjoyed those Eagles winning.
Depression. Oh.
We didn't get to talk about it too much, but we have a new champion.
We do.
And it's those crazy Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, for one
I have a lot
more
of friends
season.
that are Eagles, and they're a little nutty. I'm happy for them. But
glad you are. Mike Trout is very happy for them as well. Kobe is happy for them as well.
Good grief, can they party? Is that even called partying?
I don't even think they've stopped yet, actually.
No.
I think they're still not sleeping.
The light poles are still greased?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
Well,
They're going to have more than one parade, I think, right?
Well, out here in LA, hopefully in a few years we might see a parade because these Rams had some nice postseason hardware, didn't they?
The awards that they got this year, the NFL honors, Coach of the Year, Sean McVay, Offensive Player of the Year, Todd Gurley, Defensive Player of the Year, of course, Aaron Donald. That was unbelievable. So big congrats to our Rams. You did such a great job this year, and we're looking forward to seeing more of the same this season, of course.
What a big accomplishment for Sean McVay.
You know, I'm telling you, at the beginning of the season, everybody was saying, oh, he's 30-year-old Sean McVay. And at the end of the season, everybody was saying, where can we get a Sean McVay? So it went from how old he is to that doesn't matter, we want a Sean McVay on our team. So
yeah, I guess it's in his blood. He's NFL cultured, and anything's a dice roll with a brand new coach like that. But it came up sevens.
Yeah, it certainly did, and we're excited for them. I mean, they're on the right track, and Will and I were just talking about earlier that we actually are seeing signs of a new stadium sort of off the freeway, which is kind of exciting. So that's going to be fun to see over the next few years too, for sure. Absolutely, yeah. All right, when we come back, we're going to do a fun NBA quiz. We'll see what Will has to say on some insightful answers to these very hard-hitting questions. We'll be right back.
Oh, nervous.
All right, well, people often ask us questions, and we thought we'd put together a little list of NBA questions that we know you can answer because you are the NBA pro right here. Are you ready? Number one, will the Clippers make the playoffs this season without Blake Griffin?
That's a tough because when you really watch the Western Conference, and I'll try to make this as short as possible, but there is so much competition, like I said, between that 5 and 9. Clippers are at 9 currently.
That's right.
And they're just going to have to fight. They're going to have to play like better basketball than in the first half. So, you know what?
What are you going to say?
They're in the 8th spot.
Ooh, okay.
They're going to have to beat teams like New Orleans, Denver. But yeah, I mean, CP3 and Blake, sure that was a better team than we see now. But this is a team that can grow, and I think actually,
and Lou Williams,
some star will come out of this mix.
I think you're right. All right. Will the finals this year be against Golden State and the Cavs yet again? Are we watching it again?
I think that Golden State is a little tired this year. I think Cleveland will play the Houston Rockets in the finals.
Wow. And then wait a minute, who wins that one? LeBron?
Want me to tell you right now?
Wow.
The question was just the finals.
Okay, fine.
I'm not ready for who
all
wins
right,
it.
All right, he needs time to think about that one.
Good Lord.
All right, ready? Will LeBron be a Laker next season?
No.
You didn't even think about that, Will.
It's pretty easy.
Okay.
I guess I could be wrong, but there's no indication.
All right, here's a good one. Who is the best player in the NBA not named LeBron? And not named Russell Westbrook?
Oh, now that's a little hard, but it's...
Because he's prejudiced, so you can't say that.
No, it's Kevin Durant.
You can say, okay, that's a good answer.
Kevin Durant's the second best player in the NBA.
That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
For
All
this year.
answers. That was really good,
Did
Will.
I get it right?
Well,
Are they all correct?
I mean, I don't know. I guess
We
people
don't know
will
yet.
write in and they'll tell us what they think.
Yeah, please don't record this at home or video grab it or something, because I might be wrong.
Yeah, it's on their phone, Will. It's now on their phone, that's
Or write
for
in
sure.
to me somehow.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? If people want to watch us anytime at all, you know where they can go?
I think you go www.playingthefieldtv.com.
That is absolutely right, Will. So much from the All-Star Game here this weekend. So we hope everybody is enjoying their time here and our time. And that will do it for today's show.
It's about to get going, All-Star Saturday night.
They're going to kick us out of here in about 5 minutes. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Maria Serrao.
For Will Lupardus.
And we'll see you next time.